back in this gorgeous neighborhood again in the community of Smoke Rise, right outside of Atlanta, and I was here last weekend for the estate sale where everything was 75% off, and I'm back again for an estate sale at a different house, and it's 50% off today. So let's see. I was kind of hoping that the rain would keep people away. We'll see. So far it looks like maybe the rain has kept people away, so let's go inside and see if I can find anything that I can buy and resell for a profit in my antique booth. Was a great sale. I did pretty well, but I did spend $59 today, so I probably need to just like cool it on how much money I'm spending and make sure that my April sales were good before I go shopping again. So when I get home, I will unpack all of this stuff, record how much I paid for everything, and then I'll show you the haul. It's a pretty awesome haul. Thank you so much for joining me today for this estate sale haul video. This estate sale was a really good sale. The house was packed. The prices were all 50% off, and it wasn't super busy. So I was able to do a lot of filming inside of the house, and I will put all of that footage at the end of this video and just pipe some music over the top. So what I will do now is show you this entire haul. I think I got 13 items at the sale, and then I will tell you how much I paid and then also how much I'm going to price each item for in my antique and vintage booth. I just love these sponge frogs. So these little frogs are meant to hold your sponges at your kitchen sink. Usually when I see them, they're just green or yellow. This one is a really nice hand painted one with some pretty flowers on it. On the bottom, it says C&K Ceramics, hand painted. It says copyright Jim Dandy, 1976. So I thought this guy was super cute. I paid $3.50 for him or her. I guess this is a her. Look at her eyelashes. And I will put $14 on this. These always sell well when I find them. People seem to really like them. Next up is this vintage bottle. It's embossed. The glass is embossed. It's really pretty. It holds 64 ounces and it says no deposit, no return, meaning you could not bring this back to the store and get a portion of your money back for returning it. It says made in the USA on the bottom. I'm not sure what this would have originally held. The estate sale cashier wrote orange juice bottle, but I'm really not sure. If you know, please let me know in the comments. I paid $3 for this, and I think it should sell for $22. This is a cast iron trivet, and these sell pretty well for me in the booth. This one was just $3 after the 50% off discount. When I put this image in Google Lens, I couldn't find another one with this exact design on it. I just couldn't find a comparable. It was $3, and I will put $14 on it, and I think it should sell well for that. People collect these. I've seen some really cool collections of these online. I'll put a picture here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, next up I got a Corningware bread pan in the pattern blue cornflower. Now this pattern is very common, but it sells really well for us in our antique store. So I was willing to pay the $7.50 that they wanted for this because it's in really nice shape. I don't know if you can see the stamp on the bottom. It has very little wear to the pattern. So I don't think it was used very much. I will put $30 on this and see how it goes. I don't see the bread pans as commonly as I see the casserole dishes, so we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't sell for $30, I can always mark it down. Okay, this Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook was copyrighted 1962, and it does have some wear to it, so it looks like it was used fairly lovingly. I would say it's in fair condition, maybe good. It was only $3 after the discount, and I will put $18 on it. I think I could fetch a much higher price for this online, but I don't currently sell online, and I just sell in my antique booth in the antique store where I work. This is a Tupperware piece, and Tupperware is a big seller for me. This was from the 1980s. It's called the Mix and Store 2-quart measuring pitcher, and it has its lid. The red on this, sometimes you'll see these and the color is just completely worn off. This one looks really good with very little wear. So I paid $4 for this, which I think is a little bit high. There was no price tag on it, so it's one of those things where they just gave me a quick price at the register. And I will put $22 on this. See how it goes. I think it's super cute. The cashier wrote down on my receipt that this was a potato masher, and it's not. I didn't argue or anything. They were very busy. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure that's for like dough, and it is. So I looked it up, and it is called a pastry blender. So what you do is when you have cold butter, you use this to cut it into your flour and your other dry ingredients, and it cuts the butter into the recipe. This one, the maker is Androok. So this is another made in the USA piece, and I love the turquoise wooden handle on it. The fact that it's turquoise makes me think that it's probably 1950s, because pink and turquoise were such popular kitchen colors in the 1950s. So I paid $3 for this, and I will put 14 on it. I just think it's lovely. This is a wicker trivet, and it was just $1. I will put $4 on it. There was just one that I got. I had a bunch of these that sold recently, so that's why I grabbed it. People seem to like these. They're very cute. Look at this beautiful brass goose. And originally they had put 18 on him, but I only paid $9 for this. He's nice and heavy, and I just love the detail in his feet, his beautiful little webbed feet. He's got these felt stickers on the bottom so he won't scratch up your wooden surfaces. So again, I paid $9 for him, and I will put 36 on this and see how it goes. Isn't he super cute? More Tupperware. This is the Harvest Gold color, and so I believe this is the 1970s color. This was $3.50. I always smell Tupperware. People probably think I'm crazy in the thrift stores and the estate sales. And this one doesn't smell too bad. Like that Tupperware smell. You don't really want your butter tasting like that smell, do you know what I mean? But this one doesn't really have a strong smell. So it's $3.50, and I will try to get $14 for it. People love Tupperware. I think it's cool, and I'm just happy when I find it in good shape. Look at this cute hot pot. So it's a kettle. So what you do is you put water in here, and I asked my husband if he would just, because I was trying to get ready for this video, researching everything. I asked him if he would test this for me to see if it works, because I bought it and spent $4 on it without knowing if it worked. But I did realize that it had its original plug and that the plug was in good shape. And he said that it heats water faster than any other method he has ever seen, and that he put water in it and plugged it in, and within a matter of less than a minute, the water was already boiling. So I thought that was funny how quickly it worked. So I'm guessing, based on the groovy flowers with the browns and beiges, that this is a 1970s hot pot. Again, I paid $4, and I will put $26 on it. Okay, so to address the question in the thumbnail, which was whether or not vintage appliances are safe, honestly, I think it's a case-by-case basis. So what I would recommend is that you take a good look at the cord for one thing. And this cord and the plug are all in good condition. There's no fraying of the wire or anything like that. Also, all of this is clear of rust, so where the plug goes in is very clean. And then, of course, since it is a vintage appliance, and since my husband was shocked at how quickly it heated the water, I would just recommend that you use it with supervision. So instead of just like plugging it in and using it and leaving it and walking away to do some other household chore, that when you first start using your new to you vintage appliance, that you not walk away from it and just keep an eye on it when you're using it. I just think it's adorable, and I hope someone else thinks it's as cute as I thought it was. There was a whole bedroom full of Christmas decor, and Christmas decor is a struggle for me in the antique booth because since we're a tourist town, a lot of people are just passing through, and if they're coming to visit us for Christmas or New Year's, they pretty much already decorated their house for Christmas if they're coming to visit us at that time of year. So vintage Christmas is challenging, even though I really love it. I know that I would do better with my love of vintage Christmas if I sold online. Last Christmas, I had a whole Christmas tree full of vintage wooden ornaments, and all of them sold. And I was on top of the world thinking that I had all these customers. I loved them so much. And the truth was that it was another antique dealer who rents a booth in the store who bought all of my ornaments. Of course, I'm appreciative that she bought them, but it's not like I had a bunch of customers who just loved them. Look at this little guy. Isn't he cute? Little angel with a drum. So she bought all of my vintage wooden ornaments, and I needed some more. So I found these at the estate sale. There are 7 of them, and she charged me $7. I will be able to put on these little ones probably $3 or $4, and on these bigger guys, I'll probably, I don't know, put $7 or $8. So I was happy to find these. The room where there was a lot of vintage Christmas had a bunch of good stuff in it. But again, I have to be careful about how much of it I buy. It doesn't sell very well for me to have a ton of Christmas stuff in my booth. And also, that's a lot of work to put it all out and then pack it all up again. And then it creates an inventory issue for me because every year that my Christmas stuff doesn't sell, I'm carrying that over in my books in terms of inventory from year to year. So that's just a hassle in terms of inventory bookkeeping purposes. So I have to be careful about how much I buy. I generally only put a small Christmas tree out, and then I put some type of vintage ornaments on the tree. I just thought these were pretty, even though they weren't a whole set. These are pink aluminum, and the color is just lovely. It looks like rose gold, but it's called pink aluminum. It's not a complete set. It just has the tablespoon and the teaspoon. So since I love them so much and it's not a complete set, I'm probably going to just keep these for myself. They were only $1. And finally, I got this Dragonfly suncatcher for myself. I'm going to show you my little collection that I have started in my kitchen window, and this will fit just perfectly. In fact, the colors are just the same. This isn't one of the nice, heavy, chunky ones that I really like, but you can't really tell by looking at it that it's more of a lightweight plastic one. Here's my little collection that I have going so far. I've got the turtle and I've got the grapes. Both of these are heavy glass, chunky ones. I really like the heavy glass ones. And like I said, this one is plastic, but you can't really tell just by looking at it that it's not as high quality as the 2 heavy glass ones. So I think it will just look so pretty. And I really hope I can find some different colors. I don't necessarily want everything to have to be green and yellow. It's just what I've been able to find so far. As always, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.